British family to apologize for slavery. Guyanese woman joins NASA. And progress on whiptail continues. I'm Rico Beaufort, and this is Uncut News. You see what's happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The Gladstone family, the descendants of former British Prime Minister Malcolm Gladstone, also widely recognized as heirs of enslavement, will travel to Guyana this week to apologize for their ancestors' role in African enslavement and help fund a new research center at the University of Guyana. The university is launching its International Center for Migration and Diaspora Studies, which will pursue research on slavery and indentureship, and the Gladstone family's ancestors were involved in exporting indentured labor to the Caribbean. The family will now offer a formal apology at the ceremony on August the 25th, which will be followed by an intergenerational dialogue and an exhibition of scholarly work. A U.S. government report on gold smuggling handed to the APNU AFC government in 2016 revealed that over $2 billion in gold was smuggled out of the nation over a 10-year period, but declared on arrival in the United States. The report contained the names of 15 Guyanese individuals. The current government is being urged not to ignore recent reports of gold smuggling and alleged links to local businessmen. The U.S. was sought to help during the previous government to address gold smuggling out of Guyana. Caribbean Airlines flights were severely affected due to a high volume of sick calls by pilots, causing widespread cancellations and ongoing disruptions. Recovery flights were being organized for stranded passengers with the help of charter flights. The Industrial Court in Trinidad and Tobago ordered the pilots back to work, but the union representing the pilots stated that the sick out was not planned nor endorsed by them. Meanwhile, back in Guyana, 8 members of parliament have been asked to pay overdue costs from their court case after being suspended for disrupting parliamentary proceedings. The MPs have so far failed to pay the costs, and a law firm has demanded payment within 14 days. Additionally, 2 individuals were ordered to pay costs after a legal challenge against the validity of the Natural Resources Fund Act was dismissed by the High Court. 2 fishermen from Abari, Region 5, were rescued after drifting at sea for days during a fishing trip. Keston Fordyce and Lincoln Cully were rescued by a passing boat on Monday morning after leaving for fishing on August the 18th. Concerns grew after they did not return on Friday evening, and a search party was mobilized on Sunday. The men were found weak, dehydrated, and disoriented, having only a pack of Crick's biscuits and 1 bottle of water between them left. They were rescued somewhere around the Palmeroon River area, and arrangements have been made to have them transported home. Kiana Jardine, a Guyanese planetary scientist, will join a NASA research team to study the OSIRIS-REx samples at Arizona State University. Jardine completed her education in the United States, earning a PhD in physics with a concentration on planetary science. So that's actually Dr. Jardine. Dr. Jardine will be part of the team studying the first U.S. mission to collect a sample from an asteroid. She is the first woman of African descent to have graduated from the University of Central Florida with a PhD in physics, and hopes to inspire underrepresented minority groups to pursue similar opportunities. So, good for you, Dr. Jardine. We're proud of you over here.
Attention truck owners, between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Guyana.
Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Guyana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
Now for crime news. A post-mortem examination on the body of 19-year-old Melinda Newenkirk gave the cause of death as compression injury to the neck consistent with hanging. Newenkirk's body was found in her apartment early last Friday morning. Family members have been calling for a full investigation of her death, because just before her death, the teen told friends that she had ended a relationship with a 36-year-old man who allegedly threatened her life on multiple occasions. And even hours before her body was found, the same man was captured on camera leaving her apartment. The police are currently investigating the murder of Barrett Gendalal, a 29-year-old driver from the West Bank of Demerara who was stabbed to death by a group of masked men in his yard. The motive behind the attack is unknown, and witnesses have provided statements about the attack and the vehicle the men arrived and left in. Andrew Rodriguez was sentenced to 4 years in jail and fined $3.2 million Ghana dollars after pleading guilty to trafficking just over 4 pounds of cocaine. Another man, Dwayne Joseph, was arrested and charged in relation to the same case and pleaded not guilty, with his case to continue on September the 19th. The body of 34-year-old Ovril Adams' son Pedro was found in a clump of bushes at Soesdijk on the East Bank 2 days after he was reported missing by his family. No marks of violence were seen on his body, and a post-mortem examination is scheduled for today to determine the cause of death. A wooden cottage in Bartka Arcade was destroyed by fire. The building was abandoned and frequently inhabited by vagrants. A Venezuelan national, Carmen Cristina Ruiz, who had decided to occupy the building, alleged that she observed the mattress on fire upon her return from a supermarket and was unable to pull it out of the house. No other buildings were damaged, and Ruiz is presently in police custody. Now for today's oil update. ExxonMobil's Whiptail project in Ghana's Starboard Block will target up to 72 wells and is expected to produce 250,000 barrels of oil per day, with gas production capacity between 400 million and 640 million standard cubic feet per day. The project includes onshore logistical support facilities and maritime/aviation services, and is the last of 6 projects planned by Exxon in the Starboard Block to come online by 2027, taking production capacity to over 1.3 million barrels of oil per day.
It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel if this was. On Friday I ask, how do you feel about the reports of dengue fever spreading in Guyana?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Barefoot Wanderer says GMO mosquitoes were created and released in the region in 2020 to combat natural mosquito viruses and decrease the population of natural mosquitoes. It seems the opposite has happened because the symptoms of mosquito viruses are more harsh now. So in turn, did they create super viruses with the GMO mosquitoes? And is this region the testing ground? I'm scared to answer that because I might get flagged again by the bots. But I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Meanwhile, Randy J says dengue on the increase should be taken as a matter of concern, since this can have a ripple effect on all Guyanese. However, transparency from the Ministry of Health is imperative. Indeed, I agree. And finally, Sadie Wilson says that the Ministry of Public Health needs to pull itself together, because it's not only now that we know about the various types of viruses from mosquitoes, and in fact, years ago, fogging was every 3 to 6 months. What happened? All the money fill their eyes and then forget, if you ain't look after the people, you'll have nothing and not even a country to lead? Poor example for the Minister of Public Health. Now for tonight's question. I want to know, what do you believe is a concern that is not getting enough media attention in Ghana? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nico Bulford saying good night, folks.